Howdy. My name is Dane Madrigal. I'm a musician based out of the greater Los Angeles area, and today we're going to be talking about Tchaikovsky and, you got me, Guide to the Practical Study of Harmony. Solid. Tchaikovsky, Guide to the Practical Study of Harmony. Did I say that right? I did. Okay. Anyway, it's a pretty short harmonic treatise. It was written by, this is back matter now, it was written during Tchaikovsky's years as professor at the renowned Moscow Conservatory. Good to know. I started this thing maybe like what year is it? 2021. Thank God. Mine has official Dane Madrigal water damage on it from, I don't even know, but it does. Anyway, the point is I started it 4 years ago and I had never finished it. I think I got to like maybe page, oh, there's a sticker right here. Got to page 40. I hope that focused. So I started it vaguely, and at the moment I have some part writing down actually that is part of the book. Let me make sure I'm not lying. Yes, that's correct. This is my part writing. What I'm going to do right now is actually pull up my notes to said libro. I can read notes. Yay me. This is the introduction to the actual book itself before you get into the heavy matter of it. So the introduction basically consists of Tchaikovsky describing to us what intervals are, how you define lower tones, which we call fundamental tones. What are the two groups that the intervals can be classified into? Group 1 consists of major, minor, augmented, and diminished intervals, and Group 2 consists of perfect, augmented, and diminished intervals. So it's a little strange in itself, but Group 1 is basically just seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths, while Group 2 is unisons, octaves, fifths, and fourths. So there's a chart that he puts in there that illustrates it. It makes no sense for somebody who's like never encountered harmony before, like myself 4 years ago, and it just didn't make any sense. The groups also didn't make any sense to me, but I'm here now and they make sense to me because I have a basic understanding. For naming the intervals, he talks about quality and quantity. Quality being like the type of interval that it is, just saying for myself, perfect, augmented, diminished, major, and minor, so 5 different types of qualities. And then the quantity, is it a unison, a second, a third, a fifth, a fourth, a sixth, a seventh, an octave, or compound intervals 9, 10, 11, 12, so on and so forth. So he puts in another illustration, which also, if you just have never encountered harmony before, you'll look at it and you'll say, what are these lines? So I'll put it in regardless to the notes so you guys can see it, and I'm also going to put a link to download the treatise so you will not be up the river without a paddle. He talks about inverting intervals, which is an interesting concept. I put in the notes like my own personal spin on it, I guess. Anyway, the way I do it for at least the quality is that I think of it like there's a spectrum, and perfect is like in the middle of the spectrum. So if you have major on this side, the other side of it would be minor. And if right next to major is like augmented, then all the way on the other side is diminished. So it's kind of like a mirror. So if you're perfect, on the other side of the mirror, you're still going to be perfect. If you are major though, on the other side of the mirror, now you're minor. And the same is true for augmented. If you're on the other side of the mirror, you're now diminished. And that's how inverting the actual quality of the interval works. Now, the quantity I basically use arithmetic for, because when you invert an interval, it has to add up to 9. And you're asking maybe like, why would you do that when you could just memorize, oh, if I have a major second, it's going to become a minor seventh. Memorization game. To be honest, I'm not really sure how it's taught in like a theory class, because I never took like a very beginner theory class. That was not to toot my own horn, it's just I never did. So basically what I'm saying here for the actual quantity of the interval is that my example, if you have a major second, you're now getting a minor seventh. So a major inverts on the other side of the mirror to minor, but I was saying I'm using arithmetic, so how do I get 2 to go over to 7? Basically all you do is you take 9 as basically what is that called in math? It's gonna hit me. Variable? A constant. Let's just call it constant. 9 is your constant. And with 9 being the constant, you basically just take 9 minus x, there's a variable, and x is whatever the original interval's quantity was. So in this example, major second, so 2. 9 minus 2 equals 7. So you have the idea of flipping the quality over the mirror, major to minor, and now you have the idea of flipping the quantity with the arithmetic, so second to seventh. Things that I can just name off the top of my head would be like perfect fourth, then inverted becomes a perfect fifth. An augmented seventh becomes a diminished second. A minor fourth becomes a major fifth. These are just things that you would get arithmetically and also through the mirror or the spectrum idea. Like I said, I don't really know how this is taught formally, but this is just how I teach it from a book that I arbitrarily am reading. So, take it for what it is. It goes into classifying intervals. This is the consonant dissonant concept. So, his definition of consonants is basically the one we keep today, and same with his dissonance concept and definition. The reason I say that we keep it is because in older treatises there would be differences on like what's a perfect fourth, which there still is here, or like they just didn't really define consonant and dissonances as succinctly as we do today, but they've been codified over time. And I'm sure that you could probably even ask like some theoreticians, music theorists. You can ask some music theorists today. They'll probably give you the same general definitions of consonance and dissonance, but there's always a chance someone will always disagree. But anyway, Tchaikovsky classifies consonances as a perfect unison, a perfect octave, perfect fifth, major third, major sixth, minor third, minor sixth. So pretty basic. And then he goes into more detail as far as the perfect and imperfect consonances. Basically all you need to know about that is the perfect consonances are the perfect intervals, so octave, unison, fourths, and fifths, and the imperfect consonances are the major thirds, sixths, and minor thirds and sixths. The dissonances is everything else, so any augmented or diminished interval, and then also major seconds and major sevenths and minor sevenths. So that is the dissonances. Also, again, I said it originally, but a perfect fourth, according to Tchaikovsky, is dissonant, which is so interesting. If you ask a lot of people today, they will probably tell you a perfect fourth in context is dissonant or consonant. And I think it also depends melodically or harmonically as well, but this is Guide to Practical Study of Harmony. So, he basically says a perfect fourth still depends on the usage in music, but it's more inclined to dissonance. Oh ho ho, Tchaikovsky. And then he gives a brief definition of harmony, which is just, I think it's a good thing that he does it since it's a treatise on harmony. But anyway, he defines it as the simultaneous concordance of musical tones. I love Russians. So, that's the introduction to the book. I'm pretty content with reading it. I think I've gotten a lot out of it so far, as far as just, brushing up on, harmony and, where it stands as far as its development and evolution, as one might also say. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be leaving you guys a link where you can go to my website that has a web page dedicated to the guide. It's going to have a free PDF download of the treatise itself, along with a worksheet to the introduction of the book, which basically you could fill out by listening to this video, and it's pretty succinct. I would call it real succinct. Also, feel free, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, my online blog. It's just all going to be down in the description, so yeah, that's basically it. And if you're looking for more of this, it's going to be coming, so yeah, anyway. It's 11:32 at night, and I'm tired. Ooh. Yeah, anyway, back to the point. If you just want to, follow me, subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.